All right. Anyone got any questions for Coach Idzik? You can go ahead, raise your hands.
I'll jump in.
Go ahead.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good.
Hey, how would you describe what people are call Bama Brace?
Um, I just know Bryce, as he's progressed throughout this year, like his confidence has grown with his comfort, in the system, comfort with the guys around him. I think that's a kind of a natural progression you'd expect from a young guy, with a new coordinator, new system, and just his second year in the league. And the confidence in the last couple of games has really come to light at crucial moments. It's been a lot of fun to watch him grow that way, and just we get to learn alongside of him who he is as he gets to learn the guys around him as well as the coaches, and people just get more comfortable with each other as the year goes. And I think for all of us, we're starting to get more comfortable with all of our surroundings here, as we continue to grow as an offense.
Have some of these last couple weeks reminded you at all of what you saw on tape of him in college?
Yeah, I mean, we saw it all off season as well. Like, it's just coming together with the pieces that are around him. Like, he's just playing fast, and I've said it the last couple weeks. Like, the confidence has come through him getting through his reads, him being confident with the throws, guys being in certain spots, but then also knowing when, okay, I got through my progression, let me tuck it down and run. That part's been so much fun to watch. Some of the off-schedule play that he had last week was a lot of fun to watch. And our guys, it's cool because you get to hold everybody accountable, and the straining together was a big point of emphasis. If you go out there and you watch the tape of Bryce running around making guys miss, after the original play might break down, it really it fires the other guys up to strain together. You see your quarterback fighting to keep his eyes downfield, take a shot downfield. The receivers play hard through the whistle, the O-line as well. So it really kind of brings everyone together. Yeah, I kind of go back to, like, you think about the run game. If you get a real physical run, it fires up the whole team. Well, it's the same thing with a quarterback who's playing confident and trying to extend plays. The more we do that, the more the guys are straining together. It's fun to watch.
Real quick, last one from me, specific to what you're talking about, the play he made out of the end zone to start that last drive. That was just kind of crazy. Like he steps out of a tackle and then literally has, I think, his sleeve ripped off of him. Take us through that play.
Yeah, we told him to wear long sleeves to make sure that, if a guy got a hold of him, the sleeve would come off, not the arm. So he did a good job following instruction. No, it's just when you're playing loose and confident, he looked like a point guard on a basketball team, just shaking guys free and looking for the open guy. And then our guys on the back end too. You watch the O-line on that play. He's got an initial great pocket, so he's got time to get through his reads. The defense expands underneath, the concept there. And then once he breaks contain and he makes a guy miss, our receivers are continuing to strain with him, and we make a huge play down the field, kind of off schedule. So it's really, really fun to watch that, especially as the game goes. It happened a couple times earlier in the game, so you get to tell the receivers, like, hey, don't stop working now just because the coverage doesn't dictate you getting the ball in the first play. You got to be ready on the second one too, because that guy's hunting.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Cassidy, followed by David and Jeff.
Hey Brad, how's it going?
Good, good. Finally got you. Been a couple
You've
weeks.
you've been waiting. Um, and this is actually not even what I wanted to ask you about. I know you've been with Devin Tompkins for a couple of years now, last year at Tampa and then this year. First question, does he ever like stand still?
No, absolutely not. And it's funny. We have walkthroughs. Get to the end of the season, you have more walkthroughs than you do full speed practices. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of warned Bryce. I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know, like DT on this route, like his 50% is a lot of people's 100%, and he doesn't. He is fast at everything, and it's fun to work with. It's another element of the offense that you always love to have is speed to stretch the defense, stretch the coverage. DT's done a great job as we expand his role a little bit. As the weeks go and he gets more comfortable with our guys, but then the speed element is definitely something to get used to because it's real.
He was telling me yesterday that he thinks his size can almost like people underestimate what he can do, especially like if he's going to high point a ball because of his size, and he can use that to his advantage. Have you seen that happen?
Oh yeah. Uh, it starts with scout team. You know, you sign a guy and he goes and he gets to run the cards and run some of the routes, and he does it once, he does it twice, and the next thing you know, quarterbacks, you know, on scout team, they're like, okay, it's not looking good over here. Let me just throw it up to DT and see what happens. So it happened a few times on scout team, and then, you know, that stuff will come to life, you know, when we take our shots with him. But he kind of circled back to last year when we had him in Tampa. There was a handful of plays when he was in training camp where he was just one-on-one coverage, and he's not typically going to be bigger than the guy next to him, but the trust in the quarterback to have a receiver that goes up for the ball, we have a number of those guys, no matter what their size is, it gets you more targets, and he got more targets in that training camp. It helped him earn a spot on the team, and that's why we love having him here too. He quickly showed that ability to the quarterbacks, and they got a comfort level with him because of it.
And just last thing from me, real quick. I know you had Trenton Irwin at Stanford. Why is this the guy that y'all wanted to have here?
Yeah, Trent's a great route runner. He's a technician, and he's obsessed with football. So beyond what he can do as a receiver, I've known him since high school. He was actually the all-time leading receiver in California State high school history at his time. I don't know if he's been passed up by now, but he's just a technician, and he can help our room grow. He can also get open on his own. Does a phenomenal job within similar schemes that they had in Cincinnati. So some of the verbiage and all that, you know, should help him catch up to speed pretty quick. You know, Bryce knows him from California. Andy knows him from Cincinnati. So there's familiarity there too, which is always cool when you're bringing a guy in late in the season. But just a guy who's obsessed with football, and I think the other guys in that room will benefit from that.
Sweet. Thanks, Brad.
Yep.
Hey, Coach. So Bryce is going to wear a long sleeve shirt again this week?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind
I'm
of probably
kidding.
putting my foot in my mouth of what swag he wants to bring to the field. But you know, it worked last week, right? If it's not broken, you know, maybe wear those sleeves and somebody else slides off a tackle and we can get to extend some more plays.
No, totally kidding. But the play out of the end zone was phenomenal, I thought. What you mentioned that Bryce showed some of this in training camp, but it really didn't transfer over to the first two games of the season. Why do you think that didn't happen? And then since then, what's been your aha moment for Bryce?
You know, I'd like to stay where we're at right now and just say, like, as an offense, we've all progressed from the beginning of the season. It's not one guy. Earlier in the year, we're all trying to find out our identity, whether it's a run pass up front, in the quarterback room, in the receiver room. So it's just real reps together. Helps everybody grow together. And now that you get an accumulation of, 12, 13 weeks together, with Bryce having now a string of games with these guys, in a row, and having some success on offense and still figuring out ways that we can finish better, those real live reps are irreplaceable. That's why I'm so excited to have Xavier get a full season under his belt, Jalen get a full season, JT, like all of those real live reps they get together. Just can't be replaced by, things in practice, things in training camp. So you just watch the confidence go as they get more and more of those together.
I understand that, but what's for you though personally? What's the most impressive thing you've seen Bryce do?
Just his command. We have it's his confidence and command that you see through his play. But then what you guys don't get to see oftentimes is in the meeting room. You give them forums to talk, for him to echo some of the coaching points, and he's taking that and running with it, and he's taking receivers on the side. He's always done it, but now there's that synergy with the coaching staff and what we're trying to accomplish game plan wise. That's coming through his mouth, and that's what you want. You want your quarterback to feel confident in exactly what the coaches are asking, what they're trying to accomplish there, and then just help him be a problem solver alongside the coaches with, okay, how do we best accomplish these things? And he's doing that every week. It's been really fun to watch.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, good morning, Coach. Regarding the tight end room, did Sanders misplay the long pass against the Eagles by backpedaling? And second part is the snap count versus the Cowboys. How do you think that'll pan out?
What was the last part of that?
The snap count between Sanders and Tremble.
Yeah. Well, starting with that, they've both done a really good job. We're trying to make sure when we bring JT back, from a scary injury the week prior, we just want to make sure that he's feeling good and confident when he's out there. You can't play the game with hesitation. So he showed us, he's ready to rock. He's knocking some of the dust off with not having a full week of full speed practice. But again, those game reps get him more and more ready for this week. For Tommy's done a great job filling in. Obviously, he had the touchdown, but you watch him in the run game. You watch his balanced attack of just getting after guys up front and fighting the fight in the run game, helping spring Chuba and our backs. But then also coming to life in the pass game as well, just owning some of those details. So it's for the tight end room. Like, we know it's been up and down with some of the injuries. The guys have done a good job of sticking with Pat McPherson, our tight ends coach, and just being ready for that next guy up mentality. We activated Soli, and we've had Jordan Matthews up, we have Felipe up. They've all had to play one time or another, so they've all been ready to go, and Pat's done a great job with that. For JT, like that scramble play that you're referencing is just a good example of us continuing to work and find comfort. And when he does break the pocket, where does Bryce want you? He's probably going to put the ball of where he's expecting you to be. And those live reps together, especially in scramble drill, kind of help solidify, okay, when this play breaks down, I'm in this position, let me go find space. We say the ball finds energy, so bursting towards space usually pops for a quarterback who's breaking contain. And that was a great example of it. Just keep that speed, keep that consistent speed, for the quarterback, and he'll lay that thing out there. We're going to get a couple of those big plays here down the stretch.
Hey, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
All right, got time for one more. We'll wrap up with Mike K.
Hey, Brad. Whoops, sorry about the dog. I guess she assumes that Dan Morgan is listening. Anyway, Brad, as a former wide receivers coach and a former wide receiver, what is your remedy other than the jugs machine to fix drops as far as, progressing in the development of a wide receiver?
Well, coming from a coaching perspective, I always look at a player's confidence and where they are, what we're trying to do, the technique involved. You never want things to billow up to where players are thinking while they're playing. Coach Carroll in Seattle would always talk about players' mind and players playing free. And just like imagine being out in the schoolyard and you tell your friend like, hey, I'm gonna run this route right here. You draw it up on the football and you're playing free and you're playing loose. You want a receiver to play that way all the time. Play with speed, play with confidence, go attack everything. So the first thing that you do as a coach is you say, okay, we want to make sure we're not overloading anyone with formations or motions, or you find that sweet spot of attacking the defense, right, and getting your guys free, but also letting them play with players' mind. So that's how I always approach it. And then you just make sure that those guys, are confident going to the next snap. We all have opportunities, that fall through for us, and we just have to be able to turn the page. So the beautiful thing that you watch at this team right now is how they put their arm around each other. You got guys like Chuba, he fumbles the ball a couple weeks ago. The guys put their arm around him, right? Xavier, like he had a missed op right there and put their arm. We've all had those opportunities, just barely missed, but it's just, can we put our arm around each other and help each other grow from those? I think I really applaud the maturity of our offense and really supporting the guys around them. Just knowing those plays are going to come to life as long as you continue to spur that confidence in all the guys we got in the room.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.